Mixing of church and state. Mark has a question. Go ahead.
I believe that putting the prayer back in our schools, putting God back in our country, and inspiring people to find the courage to stand up for God and country would turn our country around. Would you stand for that? How would you do that? What would you do?
I absolutely would. Restore what we did in 1962. Reverse what we did in 1962.
Right. Put the prayer back in.
If you look at the problems that we had in the country, they went almost straight line up after we did that. Yes.
My question is for Kitty. As I listen to your story and I hear you say that you recognize things that are happening now and they kind of make you wince because you've seen this before. To me, the difference in your story of the past and ours of the future may be not so much what happened, but what we did about it. So my question to you is, looking back, what would you have done rather than just, maybe letting it happen? Can you see anything that you might actually encourage us to do in response?
There's a lot of things you can do. I'm a lobbyist. You can introduce legislation. You have to be very patient.
It actually goes back to what you said. Vote.
Well, exactly.
We have your people elected Hitler with 98%.
Yes.
If you go to principles
as a Christian,
yeah.
The Germans voted their patriotism, they voted their pocketbooks, they didn't vote their conscience. If Christians in this country will vote their conscience, everything will be different.
I can't believe that we elect people of faith, of all faiths, elect people that we know are lying to us, are not living decent lives. They represent us. They represent us. Well, okay, does that represent us? I think in many cases it does. We must stop that. Ralph?
Glenn, and a lot of it boils down to getting organized based on eternal values. If business is allowed to organize as the Chamber of Commerce, and labor is allowed to organize in the form of unions, but then they go to people of faith and says, you're not allowed to do that. Stay in your stained glass ghetto.
Wrong.
When they stay in their stained glass ghetto, they take away everything else, and then they come after you.
You've got to stand up together as a coalition of people of faith. Yes, go ahead.
There seem to be a great deal of similarities between early Nazi socialism and what we're going through right now in this country. I mean, what is the answer? I mean, how do we turn that back?
Well, right now, we are very blessed that this is an election year. Educate the voters. It's already happening. So we can take at least the U.S. House back and hopefully the Senate.
Yeah. America, all we have to do is strengthen ourselves. Just strengthen ourselves. Know what we know to be true. And then just stand in that truth and be unshakable. Back in a second.